sabe? Eu vou lutar com magra. Mas você tá machucado agora, tá? É, machucou o joelho, né? Eu acho que não.
Bora, Max!
Já treinamos junto. É. Tempão lá no Pinhão.
Oh, no, we have Rory's there and then Ray Cooper. That's all we need.
This is you and I solo.
What's that? He said what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go first. Bora, Maca! Meanwhile, I'm turning more into personal photographer.
Who do we need? Just Ray and Rory?
He's like, can you take some pictures of me texting me? Like,
Hey, shit, get your footy going.
well, he was with me the whole night at the table, so.
Oh, that's what's up.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, just finished up work. Floors.
Yeah.
Ô, Pampinha.
Okay. Let's get Ray. Once we get Ray, we'll start.
Quase rindo o homem, né? E quase rindo o homem. Mas é tipo, né? É aquela mesma pomadinha, né? Putz, peguei, mano. Eu e Tibau. Tu viu? O braço.
Ed, PFL. Ed, do we know how far away Ray is? He's up by the stairs. He's coming down. Oh, okay. Just like give him 1 minute. Yeah, thanks, bro. Is it, which is that? So if Rory's not gonna be here, why don't we put Nikolai up here? Right.
Alex, we need you backstage, please. Thank you.
You good? You good?
Oh, gotcha.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. A wonderful night tonight. And, you know, first of all, congratulations to all of our incredible athletes. Really delivered on a tremendous night again for the PFL. And we want to thank, of course, ESPN, our sponsors, our fans from all over the world. It was truly a remarkable night. I would like to call out and mention 5 big highlights tonight. And it was hard to just dwindle down those highlights because it was truly a great night. Every fight delivered. But looking ahead to the playoff brackets are now finalized in the welterweight and lightweight divisions. So as mentioned last event, our playoffs are going to take place at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida on August 19th. So already a lot of momentum for our playoffs on August 19th. We also had a huge welterweight semifinals ahead. Number 1 seed Joa Zaffarino. He's going to take on the 2008 PFL welterweight champion Magomed Karamov, who unbelievable performance tonight. And then of course the Red King Rory McDonald. He's going to face the 2019 PFL welterweight champion Ray Cooper. What you saw tonight in Ray Cooper was truly amazing as well. Again, he always delivers. Probably the greatest fighter out of Hawaii right now, without question. Also a big highlight tonight, 2019 PFL light heavyweight world champion Emilio Sori fought his way back. Again, he fought his way back. I mean, what a performance. He's now in the playoffs after 2 tough fights in the regular season. He always shows heart. And again, you know, for people that may not know, he was recovering from COVID prior to the season. I mean, just a world-class athlete. Also, the light heavyweight semifinal matchups. Number 1 seed, Antonio Carlos Jr., of course, he always brings it, and he's going to be fighting Emilio Sordi. And then we have Cesar Ferreira, and he'll be taking on Martin Hamlet. So really big fights to look forward to there. And then the 5th highlight to really recognize tonight again is a incredible performance by Magomed Karamov. He earned just an impressive victory. His submission win on his return gives him a clinch into the playoff spot. It was a dramatic finish by a world-class fighter. And with that, I want to give it over to none other than combat sports legend, Vice President of Fighter Operations for the PFL, the legendary Ray Cefo.
Thanks, Lauren. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting us. Of course, my first and foremost, a big thank you to all our athletes who time again and again come up here and put on a show. And it's just amazing to see these guys come out and perform the way they do. I got to say, I think Ray Cooper and Nikolai was the fight of the night for me, because these two just, it was a war from round 1 to the end. So as we all know, Ray never disappoints. I went over to congratulate both of them, and Ray said, "Oh, I'm really sorry." And I'm like, when you put on a performance like that, you don't need to be sorry. Because, you know, he always comes to fight. So, again, he was the fight of the night for me, Nikolai and Ray Cooper. And for the rest of the guys, everybody showed up. And everybody that you see up here obviously clinched a spot in the playoffs, which, again, I can't wait, because that's going to be fireworks. And the guys that you know, waiting for the ultimate position or spot, should I say, stay fit, because you never know. And of course, my advice to all our fighters, please train smart. I know that, you know, as fighters, you're always going to push to the limits, but train smart, because, you know, the playoffs is going to get you to the championship and, of course, the $1 million. With that, I want to hand over for the questions and whatnot.
First question is for Ray. Ray, I wanted to ask you your thoughts on, you know, how much you have evolved as a fighter over the last few years, because it seems like every time you fight, you bring something new and special to the table. So if you could just expound upon that a little bit.
Yeah, just being with the company for these last 2 years. I had more fights back to back than my whole career, so I had like 10 fights in 2 years. So it's just building my maturity in the cage, and yeah, I can come off a fight every single time. That's just how I was born. That's how I was raised on the islands. We scrap, and I'm gonna do the same thing every single time I fight. So just be prepared for fireworks every time I fight.
And Rory, I wanted to ask you, how did the 2 pauses in the action affect you in there? Because it seemed like the 2 stoppages really delayed your momentum both times.
No, I mean, it didn't faze me. You just wait, readjust, and you know, visualize what's in front of you after that. It didn't mess me up at all.
Hey, this is Aldrich Warner from the Fight Dialogue. My first question is for President Ray Cefo. I want your thoughts on the Martin Hamlin and Corey Hendricks fight. What was your thoughts on that?
I thought Corey showed heart. I thought he, you know, he wanted it more, and to pull off the upset and, you know, come from behind, because I believe he was losing 2 rounds, and in that 3rd round, he really, you know, dug deep. And I talked to Mike Pyle, who's not only a friend but also one of their coaches, and you know, they told him, you got to dig deep and go and, you know, and win that fight, and that's exactly what he did. So Corey is a guy that I looked at him a couple of years ago, but I still wanted him to get some more. When I talked to his manager, I wanted him to get a little bit more experience. And, you know, again, this is his first fight back in a while, and he showed heart in there, and I thought, you know, he did great.
Thank you. And my next question is to Shoeface, Potter Baines, first and foremost. And So you're going to the playoffs, you're number 1 seed, and you're going against the champion from last year. Talk to me about your thoughts on the matchup.
Well, first, congrats all the fighters here going to the playoffs, PFL for the great show. What a night. Man, it's gonna be a classic. I was talking to him. He's a nice guy. Argentina against Brazil, awesome, right? And I think it's a tough fight. He showed how good he is. He's a former champion. I know I'm gonna working hard to fight with him. It's gonna be a pleasure.
Thank you.
Curtis Calhoun, please.
Hi, this is Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. My question is for Gleason Tebow. Gleason, congrats on the win tonight, by the way. Just kind of want to get your thoughts on how the fight played out and what did you think about your performance overall against Rory?
Tibau, parabéns aí pela performance. Querendo saber sua opinião sobre a luta e o que você achou da sua vitória.
English ou em português?
Se você puder ir
Up to
em
you.
inglês, pode falar.
Yeah, tough fight, Ronnie McDonald's, the legend, the tough guy, the complete fighter. It's good wrestling, good strike, good grappling, no easy fight. I'm so happy because a long time, no fight. My first fight here in PFL, Zeferino, tough guy, Brasilia too, tough guy. Long time, I'm not compete, I'm lost time, Today, I'm more comfortable in all the octagon. I'm so happy, PFL. Take myself, take for PFL. I'm very excited for any time. I'm waiting for PFL.
Yeah, a quick follow-up on that for Gleason. What was going through your mind as the decision was being read? Were you excited, nervous? What was going on there?
Yeah, nervous because tough fight, the decision, every fight I know, the tough fight, good decision, everybody nervous. I don't know, big surprise.
Thanks, and congrats again.
Kyle Siegel.
This is a question for Joe Zeferino. Hi, this is Kyle with the Going Live podcast. Joe, I mean, congrats on the first round seed. You weathered the storm. You came out extremely aggressive. Was the plan to, try to stand up with them? Or did you decide to make that change in the second round where you wanted to take it to the ground and get a submission?
Hey, thank you very much. First of all, I had a slow start, so I got caught in the beginning. I could make a bunch of excuses, but I won't. He did a good job with that. But I was able to just implement my game. Of course, after I got, I got caught. I tried to grapple because I know that would be his biggest weaknesses, and then I was able to capitalize and get my finish.
Congrats. And what are your thoughts on the next fight? Do you think you're going to utilize the same technique, keep it on the feet, standing a little bit more?
First off, I was supposed to fight Maga in the first round, but it didn't happen, and I'm excited for it. He's a nice guy. He's a good fighter. And I feel like it's going to be a different fight because he has a different skill set, and also he's orthodox. And Jason opponent, actually my last two opponents, they were southpaws. But, so yeah, I think it's going to be a different fight, and I'm going to implement the game plan, probably something that we were working already before for him, and I can't wait for it.
Thanks. Congrats on the first seed again.
Thank you very much.
Zach.
Thank you, Zachary Grady, USA Today. My question is for Magomed. Just kind of wondering what was going through your head. What was it like watching the first couple rounds of that fight as you're trying to clinch the fourth and final playoff spot?
Магомед, вопрос вам. Как первые два боя прошли первые? Как вы реагируете? Как вы строили свою стратегию на том, чтобы захватить свое место и выйти в плей-офф?
К сожалению, на первый бой я не успел из-за визы. И на второй бой мне сказали, что надо выиграть досрочно. И задача была у меня и моей команды выиграть досрочно в первом раунде бой.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to miss the first fight because of the visa complications. And then after that, I knew that I had to finish in the first round in order to secure my spot in playoff, and I did everything to get that result, as you see.
Thank you. And then just for Rory as well, you looked visibly upset with the reading of the judges' scoring tonight. Your thoughts on the judges' outcome and how they scored your fight?
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. I believe, and everyone I talked to, everybody online scored the fight for me, even 3 rounds to 0. So I think it was a clear robbery. I thought I was dominant in this fight. It was a hard fight. Gleason brought it, and respect to him. But I believe that I clearly won that fight, and I think that this should be looked into.
Jamie. Jamie Barros.
Buenas noches, mi pregunta es para Emiliano Sordi, Jaime Barrios, MMA Fan 507 de Panamá. Emiliano, ante todo felicitarte por haber conseguido un espacio en los playoffs. Dos cositas. La primera, ¿cuál es tu opinión de lo que sucedió en ese primer asalto? Al principio vi que te quejaste con algo del árbitro, no sé si fue un cabezazo. Luego, cuando estabas en posición dominante, conectaste arriba 100 golpes en el suelo y se veía en el ref cam que te volteabas al árbitro esperando como que parar el combate y terminas perdiendo un punto. ¿Qué nos puedes comentar de eso?
Sí, la verdad que sí. Fueron primero, creo que 3 cabezazos, que se lo dije al árbitro, pero no hizo nada. Y después creo que fueron 211 golpes en la cabeza. Y la verdad pensé que lo había parado para la pelea, para terminarla, no para sacarme un punto, porque en ningún momento me advirtió ni nada. Pero bueno, peleas son peleas y por suerte pude entrar a los playoffs.
Finalmente, tienes un cruce con Antonio, con Zapato. ¿Qué nos puedes comentar de esa pelea?
No, es una buena pelea. Entrenaba junto con él hace mucho tiempo en Brasil y es un clásico, ¿no? Brasil-Argentina, lo trasladamos del fútbol al MMA, aunque en fútbol Argentina es mejor. You know, Argentina is better in soccer.
Disagree, right?
Every people know.
Translate.
Hey, so the first question for Sordi was, Sordi, what was your take on the first round? Emiliano responded that he did not hear the refs, any warnings from the ref, and he continued to keep fighting, and luckily he's in the playoffs again, and he's going to go for the championship. On the second question, they asked him about the fight he's got coming up with Shoeface, and he says that they've actually were training partners when they were living in Brazil, and now we get a classic Brazil versus Argentina matchup in the playoffs.
But in soccer, Argentina is better than Brazil, you know?
Tanai.
He missed
You
that.
know he's lying, right? Just to make a point.
Hi, Antonio. Tanai from MMA Island. Obviously, this was not how anyone expected or wanted the fight to go tonight for you. But either way, you are the #1 seed at light heavyweight. How does that make you feel, Antonio?
Well, feeling great to be the #1. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the fight to go the way. You know, you never, you don't expect for these kind of things. But unfortunately, it happened. You know, I hope Vinny as well. But the thing is, I'm happy for being in the playoffs, being #1. I hope I can get the win bonus. I hope PFL can make this. And let's go to the playoffs.
Also, Emiliano said that Argentina is better at soccer. Why do you think Brazil is?
I don't even need to say. Everybody knows Brazil is better, right? I don't need to say, right? Everybody knows it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Damon Martin.
Pelé is the only one with 1,000 goals.
No.
Yeah.
Damon Martin.
Yeah, question for Rory. Rory, obviously, it was a pretty controversial decision. When the fight was over, like, how confident were you that you had won the fight? Because, again, a lot of people did score you winning all 3 rounds, or at worst, 2-1.
I was totally sure. I was so surprised when the first judge they announced scored it for him. I was shocked. But when I heard the split decision that he got, I was blown away. I mean, what do you say? I mean, I didn't see it that way at all.
Does this give you any pause at all about judging, going forward? I mean, obviously, you've been a big finisher throughout your career, but I mean, when you have a kind of a controversial decision like this, does it give you any pause, worrying about decisions moving forward in the playoffs?
We shouldn't have to as fighters, as competitors. We should be able to fight and rest easy that, we have competent, fair, truthful judging in our sport. It shouldn't be something that we have to worry about and stick our necks out on the line and our health to do something stupid and it's just crazy. We don't have this in any other major sporting event. It just seems like over and over and over again we're getting this in our sport, and it's just a real shame.
Thanks, Ray.
Ronald.
This is Ronald E. Smith. My question is for Ray. Ray, it was said that you had a great fight, but you don't seem satisfied with it. So I would love to know more about your thoughts right now. Why were you not happy with your performance tonight?
Just because I don't hunt for decisions like that, and I came up with the win, but I hunt for finishes, and it's just like what happened with Rory. Sometimes the judging they don't get it. These judges I guess none of them are fighters, and they don't know what it takes to train and go through all the stuff that as fighters we go through. So the judging is real bad, but I'm just really not satisfied with my performance, and I go for finishes. I don't go for decisions.
What's your thoughts on the future that you will be facing Rory next?
Yeah, he's a great competitor. I watched him from when I was in school, when I was young, and yeah, I'm coming in the same way, even more. I'm gonna try to take him out like how I do everybody, and it's gonna be a great fight. He's a legend in the sport. He fought one of the guys I looked up to, VJ Penn, and I'm looking for get that back for him, and we can go on, and I'm gonna come at him very tenaciously.
Thank you.
Last question, Harry Mack, please.
Hi, Harry Mack from the Boogie's Basement. I have a question for President Ray Cefo. So we just heard Rory and Ray's thoughts, but obviously the judging has been a bit of a hot topic throughout the regular season. So I just wanted to know, do you personally feel like the judges have done a good job so far?
No, listen, I have to agree with the fighters. I mean, and this is not the first time, second or third or fourth. I mean, there's a saying that we always say, and you hear with coaches and every other organization in the U.S. and all over the world, is that don't leave the fight to the judges. I mean, that's a common saying, right? But not every fight you're going to finish. And so I agree, if the judges are going to make a decision, that it has to be a fair one. Unfortunately, it is what it is. And, no one's perfect, and it's just, sure, Rory can make a complaint, or whoever else that in the past have gone through these kind of things. But at the end of the day, the judges are going to do what they see, and that would be the outcome. And, it's a tough one, because I do agree that these guys shouldn't have to worry about certain things, and they just got to come out here and perform and fight the best they can. And unfortunately, listen, they don't get it wrong all the time, but from time to time, those things does happen. I'm not saying they got it wrong tonight or got it right. I'm just saying that we've seen this many a times in the past. And so, there's got to be some sort of criteria that judges have to do or take to be able to get the right decisions.
So that was my follow-up question. Does PFL have any sort of plan to kind of fix this problem moving forward?
Well, we don't have a say in when it comes to the commission. what people need to understand is that the commission has to approve us to have a show. We don't just turn up and tell the commission that we have a show. You know what I mean? So, and just since we're on this topic, in the first round of the regular season, Loic, who fought a fight, I thought he won that fight, but he lost the decision. And I mean, his whole country blew up my social media because they all thought that he won the fight. At the end of the day, it's like this. You know, what I told him is, Loic has to file a complaint, because when it comes to these decisions, we have to get permission from the commission to have a show. So we don't have control of the judges, referees, and whatnot. That's all, it's done by the state, the commission, and whatnot. So there's nothing that PFL can do about it. I've seen, you know, Dana White go through the same thing, says the same thing. Well, he thought this person won the fight and that person lost, but there's nothing they can do about it because the commission is commission.
Fair enough. Thank you very much.
I think that was the last question. So, again, thank you, everybody. To all the PFL fans, we love you. We thank you. And keep supporting us. And again, thanks to the gentleman over here.